You gotta be honest with yourself. You've got time to watch this YouTube video. This means that you've got time in your life to create. Hi, I want to talk about how to be more creative in your everyday life. Most of us don't have the luxury to be a full-time artist, and maybe even don't want to be. So we juggle a full-time or part-time job with our family life, friends, and our creative dreams. And in this video, I want to share with you some ways that I incorporate and try to incorporate my creativity in my day-to-day life. I hope that this helps you to find inspiration and clarity, that you don't need to spend a whole days working on your creative projects, but that often for small efforts like 5-minute doodling or writing your morning pages can do big things. We often develop the thinking that creativity or any project we do has to happen in big time chunks. So there's no real room for just a tiny project because, just 10 minutes. Well, we wouldn't get anything done with this in this time anyway. But in my experience, this holding us back, not allowing ourselves these 5 to 10 minutes, this is actually what keeps us blocked. Creativity doesn't have to happen in big sprints or big bursts. 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, 1 hour or 2 hours a week can make such a big impact, because only allowing us, if you're journaling anyway, instead of just writing what's on your head, maybe just following a notion, an image that you had on the day before, just taking 3 minutes to write this down often lets us feel more energized and invigorated. So the problem is not that we don't have time. The problem is that we don't allow ourselves to use these tiny slices of time. Because we always have to remember, change isn't a thing that happens in one big go, one big action that will change our life forever. It's the accumulation of small things done regularly. And with this, I want to share with you the simple tools or techniques or methods that I use to be a bit more creative in my day-to-day life. Number 1, use part of your holiday as a creative retreat. Your holiday is not just for you and your family, it's also for the relationship that you have with yourself. And if you're a creative person, it's so nice to take part of the holiday as your own creative retreat. You don't have to book a cabin in the woods all on your own. You can do so, that's fine, that's lovely. But if you're going on holiday with your family or with your partner, you might also want to spend your time with them because these are your loved ones. But just taking a small, maybe half an hour a day for your creative passion will give you a sense of autonomy and a sense of taking care of yourself. Or if you're single and you have some money to spend, there are also pre-planned painting vacations where, for example, I think Rebecca Green, for example, did one as well. They're quite expensive, I gotta say. But if you've got the money and you don't have anyone you need to plan your holidays with, I think this is a great idea to get your creative juices flowing and use your holiday as your own creative retreat. And if you either don't have the money or can't or don't want to go alone, just use tiny amounts of time for yourself. For example, I started this YouTube channel on my vacation. My partner was at work and I was like, I'll just try this 7 video challenge now, because if I never start, I'll never know if I'd like this. On the second day of my break from work, I started this YouTube channel. And up until now, I gotta say, it's a lot of work, yes, but I also really enjoy it. On your trip, just allow yourself to use some part of this time for something that you enjoy. If you're going to the museum anyway, grab a sketchbook, make some sketches. If you're shy, well, just take a really small one. people probably won't notice if you're holding a smartphone or if you're drawing a little bit. The holidays are for your recreation, and there's the word creation in this. So allow yourself to use some of this time to create something. So number 2 is my favorite creativity technique, morning pages. These are 3 pages of longhand writing, just brain dumping what's in your mind. It follows the technique of stream of consciousness writing. So whatever pops into your head, you just write down. And if you can't think of anything, then you just write, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to write, on repeat. You may ask now, what's creative about this? Well, first of all, taking the time for yourself, 15 to 30 minutes a day, depending on if you use an A5 or A4 size notebook or however fast you write, is an incredible investment in yourself. You spend time with what you think, what's bothering you, what's going on in your head, in your life. And honestly, you'll complain a lot. But this complaining is actually one of the things that make them so powerful, in my opinion. Because after a while, you're kind of bored of hearing yourself complain over and over and over again. And then you change things. Suddenly you get ideas on the page how you could approach things. I've probably been writing that I wanted to have a YouTube channel for 3 to 4 years. 4 years later, I started this. I know they are called morning pages, but I gotta admit I sometimes do them right before I go to sleep or in my lunch break, or I write 5 minutes before work, then my work starts and I finish it in the lunch break. Sometimes I write it in like 1 page in the morning because then I have to work, then I manage to write 1 page during my lunch break and then another page before I go to bed. But for the last couple of weeks, like 10 weeks, I think I managed to write 3 pages in 99% of the cases, and I'm really proud. You don't have to write 3 pages, that's what Julia Cameron recommends in The Artist Way, but my partner, for example, writes 2 pages a day, and that works perfectly well for him. I think 1 page is not enough space to explore your thoughts in details, but better 1 page than none. So if you feel like you can't commit to 2 pages or 3 pages, start with 1 and see how it expands. I think the main thing here is spending time with yourself daily, what makes it so important and so healing, because you can connect with yourself and learn what's going on. Number 3 is follow the impulses. I think one of the main thing with creativity is that we often don't allow ourselves to do what we feel like doing. So, like a child that suddenly wants to jump and run, we are like this adult and suppressing these impulses. Try to allow yourself to follow these impulses. You might not be brave enough to do like the big impulses, like I want to move to Madrid or whatnot. But I think for the day-to-day life, it's just allowing yourself to follow the impulses. Like if you feel like redecorating your bookshelf, and that's something you can do in like 2 or 3 hours, and you have that time, do it. We, on a Sunday, when we didn't have anything to do, I had the impulse that it would be nice if our desk would stand next to each other. And we were like, okay, we can try it. We could try it if we actually like this before we buy anything. And honestly, now that we've rearranged the room, we don't feel like that we need to buy this cupboard we thought so desperately we needed. Because now the printer isn't that obvious anymore. Our working space looks so much nicer and cleaner. It's so much more fun sitting here. And I've got my corner now with my books and my plants, and I can look at it every day and it makes me happy. Such small things. Sometimes you just need to follow these small impulses. And then I also had the impulse to paint the floor for my art corner, because honestly, the material that I'm using for the floor covering is so great, but it's black and it's dark and I didn't like it. And I was like, okay, we still have some paint for our walls. So I was like, I just could try it. It was like 30 minutes, then the floor was done. And I'm so happy. So just allowing yourself these small impulses and redecorating your house if you don't have anything else to do this day, or if the things you have planned today, postpone it. And follow these impulses. Allow your vivid soul room to express itself. Using the small creative impulses gives you a sense of empowerment and freedom in your daily life. And number 4, online drawing sessions. You gotta be honest with yourself. You've got time to watch this YouTube video. This means that you've got time in your life to create. So use this time for yourself and for your creativity. There are a number of really great online drawing sessions that you can often attend for free. For example, Sophie McPike has her live drawing sessions. Scribble Brigade. Oh my god, that's so difficult to say. Scribble Brigade. Scribble Brigade. Sophie McPike has her Scribble Brigade drawing sessions on YouTube. Or at Orange, who's a creator who makes beautiful sketchbooks, makes a 45 minutes drawing session free once a month. And there is so much fun. So these are timed drawing sessions where you get an image that you have to paint or draw in a certain amount of time, which helps you to loosen up. And honestly, 40 minutes a month, once a month, a date for yourself, that should be totally doable. You've got time probably to go out with your friends for a drink or to a family dinner. So I think this means that you have time once a month to draw. And you might say, 40 minutes a month, I won't see any improvement. Yes, you will. Because of the time challenge, you'll get so much looser and you'll learn something new every time. So just give it a try. So to summarize everything I said, being more creative in your life means allowing yourself to be more spontaneous and less rigid about your time or about how things have to be. The biggest block of being creative in our life is the lie that we don't have time. And there's another thing. We don't have time. We will never have time. We make time for the things that are important for us. Because we make time for the things that we prioritize. Of course, there's only one priority in your life at a given moment, because there are no priorities. There's only one priority. But even if you know, like, for example, your work or your family is your priority at the moment, it doesn't mean that you have to or that you should neglect everything else. Sahil Bloom calls this the dimmer switch mentality in your life. Instead of just focusing on one thing, try to make time, like even just small amount of time, for the other things that are also important for a rich and fulfilled life. And one part of this is your creativity. Or you can think of it like this. When there's a family emergency or any emergency in your life, 3 hours of cooking, one meal probably won't happen. But you'll still eat, because if you'd stop eating, well, you'd starve. You won't spend maybe as much time for cooking as you did before, but you will still see that you eat. And I think it's the same with our creativity. Maybe you don't have time 3 days of painting, but allow yourself little creativity snacks. This is so important, because this nourishes your soul and hopefully makes you happy. And if you're happy, then all other parts of your life will come to you so much easier. Your coffee break at work can be a drawing break for you as well. Meet your friends online for half an hour instead of half a day. So let me know what small art snack you will take for yourself this day. Let me know in the comments. So what small action step can you do right now? Can you get out your sketchbook and draw before you watch the next YouTube video? Can you go for a walk and take your phone and leave your phone at home? Or if you can't leave your phone at home, can you use it to brainstorm novel ideas while you're walking? The microphone on your phone can be used to send messages to your friend, but it can also be used as a tool to record your thoughts and your feelings. So let me know in the comments what you're up to, and feel free to subscribe and share this video, because this really helps my channel grow. With this, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day at whatever point in your life or journey you're watching this. Bye.